What's going on, everybody? Today we're going from Tashkent, Uzbekistan to Kazakhstan, Almaty. It's going to be, I believe, 16-hour route. Oh, sorry. And my hotel at the Holiday Inn actually helped me book this. They booked it for me. I just gave them the cash. But you could book it online. It was... Alright, so I just put my bag through security. Now this is going to be cross-border, so I'm going into a new country. From what I understand, Kazakhstan is just like Uzbekistan. It's visa on arrival. So, don't have to fill out any forms as far as I know. But this is my first time doing a Central Asian train, let alone a Central Asian cross-border. Plan to do more in the future, but we'll see. Yeah, it was about 120 to 140 for the sleeper cabin that I'm going to be staying in. It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm just going to go up this route here. What I'm genuinely curious about is where we would do the international stuff. Like, is that going to happen at the border? Does that happen here? Let's see what's over here. I'll be back to Uzbekistan when it's not so hot. It was very hot while I was here. Maybe I'll get a soda. Soda always makes me happy on a hot day. Ice cold soda. Alright, well, he let me through a little early. He said platform 2. So here's the train station. It is 104 degrees right now outside. I'm actually looking to go from Kazakhstan into China. Last time I was in China, I wanted to go across China. This is my chance. I don't want to go through airports, so I'll try to do my best to do this route. We'll see. That area of China would be Xinjiang, or Xinjiang. And yeah. I'll be proud of myself if I can do that, because I've always been curious if there is land routes to get to places, because I do like to travel and I prefer to avoid airports for the most part. I mean, I'll do an airport occasionally for a long haul or to an island or something, but most of the time I prefer not going on the airports. Well, I just carried my bags down the steps, but apparently you can just take that escalator. That would probably be a lot better. I guess we're kind of early here, a little bit too early, like 40 minutes early. So platform 2. I wonder if the train's even here. Usually a big train like this is kind of sitting on the side, waiting, not like coming in from a long haul. All right, here it is, yeah. Oh yeah. Here's the train. There is some benefit to this. For example, because it costs $120 to $140, right? It's essentially my hotel room as well as my travel, right? So I don't have to pay for a hotel room tonight because I'm doing the overnight. Plus I'm getting a long haul out of it. It's just kind of like a win-win. Assuming this goes pretty smooth, which we'll know when we get to Almaty how smooth it went, but also I get to see the countryside of Kazakhstan and Central Asia along the old Silk Road, so that's a good thing. Alright, so this leaves at 2:40. It's about 2:05. People have come out and start to allow us to get on. So I'm going to ask this guy to look at my ticket and tell me where I need to go. Well, he told me I'm way down there at the very end. It's typical for me. I always end up in situations that require me to walk a lot. If you guys watch this channel a lot, you know that. Yeah, ultimately one day I would like to basically go from Singapore to Edinburgh, or Edinburgh to Singapore, without having to fly. Right now the big challenge is the wars in Iran and Russia, because those routes are cut off. The only other way would basically a ferry from Oman to like Karachi or something, or I guess no, there is a route. I do remember I recently saw a route. It goes from Baku Azerbaijan to, I think it's Turkmenistan, or maybe Kazakhstan. I'm not quite sure. I need to evaluate that, but it goes across the Caspian Sea. If that's the case, that'll be a big opportunity if I can ever get that, but lots of visaing right there in that region. That little region is very contested. It's literally the Middle East. It's a very contested area. Alright, so I'm going to cabin 4. I'm assuming it's all mine. I don't know if I shared it or not, but we'll soon find out. I think this is 4, right? Roman numeral is 4. Okay, so I guess I'm in 2, but seat 4. But here's the situation. I thought it was a private, but it might be shared. I don't care either way, it's fine. Got my little area up here, but hopefully my guest, my mate, is easygoing with me. I just had to hump my suitcase all the way up there. And it didn't really fit, so it was like a little bit of a situation. I mean, it's snug, it's not going anywhere. It's snug, but yeah. So this is the linen situation. I asked him if someone will be coming, and from what I understood, he said, yeah, 1 more people. So we're just chilling here. I plan to look out the window a lot. Walk around the train also. All right, let's go for a little tour here. Around the train. They've taken my passport. And I guess that's probably in preparation for the land border crossing. Ah, cool. The restaurant's like very conveniently located. Is this the dining area? Nice. The aircon works great in here, by the way. I don't know if this is another station. I see some bigger rooms actually on this train. I just went by some, but people were in it. The whole setup is sleeper train, sleeper compartments. Okay, yes, I was able to talk to the train captain. I just simply asked for a upgrade, and for $100 extra, they gave me a four-seater here, 4-bed here, that was automatically available with no one in it, and it has a desk, which is actually what I would need it to begin with. This is all I would have ever needed. I guess the other room did have it, but because I was on the top bunk, I wouldn't have been able to access it. Now I can, so this is great. All right, so we're coming up to the border. I've been told I've got to open up my suitcase, so they're gonna go through it. Well, we're on the Uzbekistan side, and they're stopped here. I don't know if we're doing Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan at the stop, or exit for Uzbekistan, but we've been here for about 25 minutes so far. All right, so we just went through the border crossing there. That took about 2.5 hours total just to cross the borders. First we stopped in Uzbekistan. They went through all my suitcase, all my medicines, all of my vitamins. Like, they asked me about my B vitamins, why I have them, where I got them, and then like my ibuprofens and stuff. Had the dog sniff it. Then when we got into Kazakhstan, they did the exact same thing. Went through all of my electrolytes, like my electrolyte packages. Asked for drones. 2 people went through my bags, actually. It wasn't just one person in Kazakhstan, so I have no idea how that happens, but very intense situation. Like, restaurante. So basically the moral of the story is don't bring drones, and make sure all of your medicine is in the original packaging, and just be ready that they're gonna go through your bags with dogs multiple times. So I'm making my way to the food area to get some food. It's about dinner time, 6 o'clock. So I'm happy about that. waiting to order here, but I'm starting to see the rolling hills. I got a salad. And I got some pilaf, salad, and views. I just took the pilaf and gonna mix the salad in there with the pilaf. Why not? Yeah, beautiful. In case you're wondering what the toilet looks like, that's the situation. Not too bad. That's where you wash your hands. We've also got lots of these water jugs here. Some fresh water. Alright guys, well it's 5 in the morning. It's been a rough night's sleep. The train shakes a lot. It's quite loud. Certain parts of the route, the train shakes more, but this is what we're waking up to. I think we have about 4 more hours to Almaty, and I'm gonna go get some breakfast. Yeah, so some ideas of what could improve this trip. It's a very nice ride. It has a lot of potential, but some improvements could be made. One would be adding Starlink. I think adding Starlink could really enhance the experience because you can have internet from anywhere and still ride the train, especially if you're going to be in your little cabin, which can cause cabin fever for up to 16 hours. I get it, you can write a book, read a book, write a book, who knows. It could be a break from the internet, but not everyone wants to do that. So adding Starlink, something that's available in the modern world, could really help. Also, adding a carriage for viewing. A lot of trains around the world have viewing carriages, not just dining carriages, but a viewing carriage. That could really enhance the experience, just to get out of your room a little bit. There's a big owl right there on a tree. I don't know if you can see that. And another thing that could also enhance it is a quicker and more smooth border crossing, unless there's like some big conflict between Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan, which causes some sort of tension that makes people believe that people are trying to bring crazy stuff across the border. I think most tourists don't really want to go on vacation and then be turned into a possible criminal interrogation because they're crossing a border. I mean, that's basically what it feels like. People going through your bags, dogs sniffing through your bags, being asked why you have B12 or B vitamins in your bag. What is a B vitamin for? Why would you need to take B12 or something like that? I think that's just a little bit too intense for a tourist, and especially older people who do take medications. I don't think they want to be scrutinized on a trip like that. That's just my 2 cents. But nice train ride. You can see we're getting closer to Almaty, seeing some mountains finally instead of rolling hills. But yeah, look at this countryside here in Kazakhstan. Interesting place. Say the very few trees they have, they're filled with nests. Like all of the trees have tons of nests. I don't know if you can see it, but if you look close, all those trees had nests in them. There's birds out here who are happy about those trees being planted because they're obviously man-made trees planted, you know. They're not naturally growing. If they were naturally growing, you would see them all across the plains. But they grow right here alongside the railroad tracks where they were planted. And inside all those trees, tons of nests. I can see them. Every tree has a few nests. Well, I've just come here to the kitchen area just to kind of watch the world go by. It literally looks like this the whole trip. I don't know if they call this grassland or prairie. I don't know what the exact name of it would be, but it's really just plains, just non-stop plains. Very few trees grow in this area. I mean, could you imagine crossing this on like a horse and buggy or something? You would have had to have brought lots of food and water with you. Alright, well, we're coming into Almaty now. Alright, well, we're coming into Almaty. I'm pretty sure this is Almaty. So, alright, well, we're here. Okay, so, and yeah, this is what it looks like. It's right on time, about 9 in the morning. We're headed to the hotel after this. Gonna get a taxi. A little bit groggy this morning. I think it's a little bit better weather here, but basically the same temperature as it was in Tashkent here in Almaty. Alma-Ata.
Taxi. I'll go to the taxi.
With my friend. I would have gone with them for a taxi ride, but we'll see how this goes. Actually, from my experience, Yandex Go is way more affordable. You can just use Yandex Go, it's so much better. But yeah, overall, obviously the toughest part was the immigration processing. 2.5 hours. I guess that's normal. But if I had to do it over again, I'd probably take a land border crossing in a car and then try and catch the train after the immigration process instead of trying to do that on a train. Let's see here. All right, so I'm just walking here away from the station, and then I'm going to try and get a ride share. So we'll see how this goes. But my hotel's about a 20-minute drive, so I couldn't even walk there if I wanted, which is, I think, my hotel's in the city center of Almaty. So. Alright, well, I got a Yandex taxi here, and we'll see how much that costs in dollars, but I know it's much more affordable to use Yandex Go.
I actually ended up staying at the Ritz Carlton, which is the best hotel in Almaty for one night. I used a redemption reward, so I stayed here for free.
Alright guys, well, we're here in Almaty. Definitely a very modern and clean city, that's for sure. Incredibly clean. The air is fresh. The streets are clean. Everything is well manicured. upkept. This is a very impressive city that I've arrived at. Okay, just familiarizing myself with the area.
I ended up going to Shymbulak, which is also a ski area, but you can go to the summit here. Beautiful views up here.
All right, well, I've decided to hike up even higher. See how high I can get here. I mean, it reminds me of being in the Swiss Alps. Imagine altitude sickness has got to be a thing at this altitude. My goodness. I already feel a little bit of shortness of breath. Either that or because I'm walking uphill, probably both. My goodness. How do you ski in these conditions? What I mean is, how do you ski when it's like that with the altitude? My goodness. Wow. Super nice. Look at this, guys. We made it. I mean, up here, we're above the timberline. I just can't get over how beautiful that mountain peak is. I think I'm a mountain guy after seeing this. These peaks have just made me a mountain guy. I love mountains because of this.
All right, guys. Well, on the next one, we're headed to China. We're going to do a land border crossing. Click the link right here.